Hi mga Pinoy rider. Today I want to talk about yung motorcycle lane. Naapektuhan ka na ba nito? Ito yung lane na gusto nila na ito lang yung gagamitin ng mga motorcycle riders sa mga major thoroughfares natin. Naapektuhan ka na ba nito? Nahuli ka na ba? And ano ang opinion mo dito? If you wanna know more about it, make sure to watch this video. But before that, make sure to subscribe and smash that bell button. So, check this video out. Yan, so motorcycle lane. Medyo touchy itong subject na to kasi marami nang naging opinions, maraming naging complaints, and of course may mga nag-agree din. But one thing for sure, and sigurado ako, yung mga nag-agree, hindi talaga nagmamotor yan. Here's my take on the issue. Naglagay sila ng motorcycle lane with that thought na yung mga motorsiklo, ito yung mga nakakakos ng traffic at nakakagulo daw sa traffic flow ng Metro Manila. But one point to consider, motorcycles take up only very little space. So bear in mind, lane filtering is legal. So in terms of taking space, it's not really the motorcycles that take a lot of space. Remember, they can carry up to 2 passengers at a time using only very little space. So there's no way na ito yung nakaka-affect talaga sa mga traffic natin dito. And another thing to consider, motorcycles are only given one lane. How unfair is that? We all pay our road users tax. All our vehicles are registered as well. So how come we can only use one of the 4 or 5 lanes in EDSA or Commonwealth? Doesn't make sense, right? So if you put all these motorcycles in just one box, which is that suicide lane, which I call it, that is very unsafe. You're putting them up for failure, setting them up for danger, and that's just it. It's a suicide lane more than anything else. So you also have to consider the fact that apart from it being a suicide lane, well, why do I call it that? It's because it is a non-exclusive lane. It's not as if only motorcycles can use this lane. Even buses would be seen there. Private vehicles, cars, taxis, and even jeepneys are seen in motorcycle lanes, oftentimes causing accidents since basically the motorcycles are trapped in that lane. They may leave that lane if they're going to make a left or a right turn somewhere, maybe a U-turn, but then basically they're confined to that box most of the time. And as they say, it is the motorcycles that cause traffic. I don't think so. So just look at how our buses and their drivers behave, because as you can see, oftentimes they take at least a couple of lanes when trying to load or unload. Nakandaan na ba kayo sa EDSA Shaw? Tapos pag liliko kayo sa southbound ng EDSA Shaw, pwede kayo abutin ng 30 minutes kasi yung dalawang lane na yon, doon na mismo nagsasakay yung buses. They won't even bother to move to the right side of the road to unload. So what they do is just stop, get passengers, drop off, and wait for so many minutes. And kahit na magbusina ka na matagal, wala silang pakialam. So these buses act like they own the road, right? So just doesn't make sense that motorcyclists are singled out. And why don't you guys just look at the worsening Metro Manila traffic problem? It is never the motorcycles that would cause this, because in terms of space, in terms of real estate, they take up very little space. So imagine if you compare one SUV carrying one passenger and one motorcycle carrying one rider, doon pala makikita mo na yung comparison eh. So for me, motorcycle lanes are very very unsafe. Just remove it altogether. It's unsafe for motorcyclists. Let us use all the lanes. Of course, that is with the impression that we will all follow road rules, because you are putting us at an unnecessary risk. And not everyone can pay the fine. Remember, we have a lot of minimum wage earners, and we can't pay high fines if we make that simple mistake of going out or veering out of the motorcycle lane, and then an MMDA enforcer flags us down. I think that's very unfair. You would say it's for our safety, but it's safer if we could transfer lanes instead of being confided in a very small box wherein buses and jeeps could basically squash us to death. And I'm not even exaggerating, it has happened, there are reports. So that's it for me today. For me, motorcycle lane is a no-no, it's a suicide lane. So Pinoy riders, ride safe and live free. Make sure to subscribe, okay? See ya!